guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here, and today I'm going to be doing my January favourites. And who can believe that it's already the end of January? I don't quite know how that's happened, but it has. And today I have my usual kind of setup of my 7 categories. We have books, movies, YouTubers, BookTubers, videos, music and TV show. So they're the 7. I have something for each category, and let's get started. So first of all, I want to start talking about the 3 kind of YouTube videos that I've particularly enjoyed watching this month. I've watched quite a lot of YouTube this month, so I had to really narrow it down, but yeah, I have 3 particular videos that I really want to talk about today. The first one is a video by Kaz from Cats and Camera, and I absolutely love her channel, you all know that, but specifically the video I'm talking about is her randomly generated books. I really like this idea. Basically what she does is she uses I forget what they're called, you know, the dice that have like 20 sides? What's it called? I can't remember. The funny dice anyway. She uses those, and it helps her pick a book off her shelf that maybe she wouldn't normally talk about, and she talks about the kind of like 5 books that she gets from those rolls, and I love that. I think it's really interesting, especially because a lot of the time I think she's right, we do often fall into the trap of kind of picking the same books to talk about in each video, because obviously they're the books that are kind of at the forefront of our minds, but it's quite interesting to kind of be made to talk about other books. So I think maybe I'll try and do a video like that at some point in the future, just because I think it's really interesting and it is really fun to talk about other books that you don't normally. So yeah, a great video by Kaz, and again I'll link it below. I'll link everything below, but I'll just link it below so you can go and check that video out. The second video that I want to talk about is kind of more a video series, but it's the kind of like, it's the Deathly Hallows read-along that Stripped Cover Lit are doing, and Adrian has never read the books before, and he is kind of reading, I think they do like 2 chapters at a time, and they talk about the things in the chapters, and I love it. Adrian's not a fan, and to be honest I'm not sure if either of them really are, but I know he doesn't particularly like it, but I really love listening to him talk about it, because obviously as someone who really loves Harry Potter and really enjoys that, I find it really interesting to see from an outsider's perspective what that might be like, and also because I don't know what it would be like reading it for the first time when I'm this age. Like obviously I have a lot of nostalgic feelings about it, but whether I'd feel the same if I read it kind of for the first time, I don't know. So yeah, it's really interesting to hear him talk about it, and I just love the way that they kind of really go into detail about it as well, and find little bits and pieces that maybe I didn't know about before. So yeah, I really enjoyed that video series. And then the last video I want to talk about is a video by another wonderful booktuber, Harriet Rosie, and I love Harriet's channel in general, but she did a currently reading and kind of catch-up video, which was really lovely. It was basically like 20 minutes of her kind of sitting there and just chatting to the camera, and I loved that. I just think it's really casual but really fun to listen to. I really find it really entertaining. I love hearing her talk in general, and then she talked about some of the books she was reading, and it's just a really lovely kind of chilled video that just really made me feel kind of like relaxed and really lovely. So yeah, I really liked that video as well. Next up, I'm going to talk about my favourite TV show of the month, and you might all be surprised because I have not actually seen this before, and this was the first time I was watching it, but I've just started watching The Big Bang Theory, and I absolutely love it. I'm about halfway through season 1 at the minute, and obviously I have quite a lot to go, and I think there's like 8 series altogether. Well, actually I think there's even more, but there's 8 on Netflix I think, and I'm really enjoying it. My favourite character is definitely Penny, just because I think she's really funny, and I love kind of her like face when the others say like some science joke or some kind of really in-depth thing, and she's like, I have no idea what they're talking about, and I feel like sometimes I feel like that in life in general. So I absolutely love The Big Bang Theory. It's really fun, but it's also kind of got a lot of science knowledge in it as well, which I find really interesting, and I just think Sheldon's amazing. I love Leonard, I love Howard, I love Rat, I just love them all. Honestly, I think they're amazing, and it's such a wonderful cast of people, and I just think they really bounce off each other well. So yeah, a great TV show. Next up, I want to talk about my favourite 3 songs of the month. I've really been enjoying kind of music, and again, I'm all about the throwback, as we all know. So the first one of these is probably, I think these are the most throwback I've ever done on my channel, to be honest with you. These are really like old school. But the first one is Whole Again by Atomic Kitten. I loved Atomic Kitten when I was at school, and Atomic Kitten, just, I used to listen to their albums over and over, and did anybody else used to get the lyrics out of the little like bit that came in the front of the CD and like sing along because they thought they were really cool? Yeah, I definitely did that. And Whole Again is just the song. I remember me and my sister and our friend that lived by us making up a dance routine and doing it stood on the driveway outside of our house, and yeah, a lot of memories, and that's such a good song. The second one is another Cheryl song, and let's be honest, we're going to have a favourites that does not have a Cheryl song in it. It's unlikely, but we'll see. But the song that I'm particularly talking about this month is Crazy Stupid Love by Cheryl. I love this song. When I first heard it, I wasn't completely sure of it, to be honest with you. But there's just something about it that's really catchy, and I absolutely love it. And the music video just makes me laugh every time. And yeah, it's a great song, and obviously I love Cheryl, you know that. And then the third song, again, is a massive, massive kind of like call back to my youth, and that is Don't Stop Moving by S Club 7. Again, can you tell what kind of playlist I had on my Spotify this month? Yeah, S Club 7 was definitely my childhood, and I love the song Don't Stop Moving. I think it's one of those songs that just really gets everybody going, and everybody knows it. So yeah, definitely a great, great song. Then my favourite movie of the month, last month was Doctor Strange, and funnily enough this month it's another Marvel film, and I again watched this with my boyfriend when he was here at the beginning of the month, and that is Avengers Age of Ultron. I don't know if I'd seen this one before, but yeah, it's an Avengers film. It's on Netflix. It normally will be on Netflix if I've seen it, because that's generally what I tend to watch things on. I really love it. I think it's got most of them in it, which I think is the best part. I love it when they're all together. I'm not the biggest fan of like the individual ones, but I quite like the ones where they're all in together. So Age of Ultron was a great one, and it also had Elizabeth Olsen in. I think she plays the Scarlet Witch, and she is definitely one of my favourite people, and I love the Olsen twins as well, so like the whole family is great. So yeah, love, love, love this one. Then on to my favourite BookTubers of the month, and the first one will probably come as no surprise because I love, love, love this channel, and I love this person, and that is Mary from With Cinnamon Please. I love Mary's channel. I think she's amazing, and we actually did a buddy read in January, which has been amazing, and that's one of the reasons why she's my favourite. This will be the second buddy read that I've done with her now, and honestly every time we just have a great time. Whether we like the book or not, it's just really interesting to kind of chat to her and really come up with some kind of thoughts that we both have and really bounce off each other, so I really like that. I really loved her channel. I loved her wrap up that she did. She read some amazing books, and although we don't necessarily agree, because like she didn't like Eleanor Oliphant, which is one of my favourite books, I just still like to listen to her talk about her books. And I think that's the thing, like if you like somebody enough in terms of them as a person, it doesn't matter whether they like the same books as you. It's just really interesting to hear their thoughts. So yeah, I love Mary's channel. The second one that I want to talk about is Leanne from Literary Diversions. I've always loved Leanne's channel. She really talks about thrillers, and she's another reason why I love reading thrillers, so hearing her talk about them is great. She used to do a thing called Crime Corner, which I know she's bringing back, but I just loved it, and she did a massive unhaul at the beginning of this month, which was great to watch. It was like 35 minutes of pure pleasure, and yeah, I love her channel so much, and yeah, I just would keep watching all the time. And then the final booktuber that I want to talk about is quite a bigger YouTuber, but I really have loved her videos this month, and that is Reagan from Peruse Project. I used to watch her videos a lot more, and then I kind of went off watching them just because I was watching so many other people, but I've really got back into them again recently. She set her boyfriend a kind of like TBR for the year, and she's getting him to read The Final Empire, which I think is amazing. And yeah, I just really love her channel. She's just very down to earth, and I think unlike a lot of the bigger booktubers that I think sometimes can come across in quite a like distant way, because obviously they're having to do so many other things, like she constantly posts, and I just think that the way she talks, she's very down to earth, and I love that. So yeah, I really, really love Reagan's channel. So my favourite book of the month, again I'll talk about more in my wrap up, so check out that when it comes up, but it is Cress by Marissa Meyer, and this is the third book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and honestly I don't generally finish series, we all know this, but I read Cinder maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, and again put off reading the rest, but I read Scarlet towards the end of the year, and I couldn't not pick up Cress like as soon as possible, because I absolutely love this series, and Cress for me is probably my favourite book of the series, and again it's my favourite book of January. It was amazing. It's this one, they're all fairy tale retellings. So the first one, Cinder, is kind of a Cinderella one. The second one, Scarlet, is a Red Riding Hood retelling, and this one, Cress, is kind of like a Rapunzel retelling, and honestly it's such a good story. It's quite a big book, but I think it was worth the read, and I'm really looking forward to reading Winter, even though that one's even bigger. And then the last category is my favourite YouTubers, so they're the ones that aren't booktubers. So my first favourite is Lily Pebbles. Lily is a fashion and beauty YouTuber that I've watched for a really long time, and she is also currently pregnant, which is amazing. It's great to kind of watch her talking about the things that are happening, and I find it really fun. I love mummy vloggers in general, but I also really like it when kind of beauty YouTubers or people that I've watched for a really long time then get pregnant, because it's really interesting to see the kind of like the mix of the two. And I love Lily's channel. She recently has done a lot more kind of like home interior as well, which has really inspired me. She did a kitchen tour where she did like her whole kitchen, and it's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I just love her videos and I can't stop watching them. And my next favourite is Brogan from the channel Brogan Tate, and I again have watched Brogan for a really long time, and probably like years and years and years. And Brogan's channel is just one of those channels that makes me feel really good. She has this like way about her. She does a lot of kind of like B&M hauls and home bargains hauls, which I love because I think they're really down to earth, and I love the kind of like realness of them. A lot of the time I think when people do like really high-end hauls, I will watch them, but I don't like connect with it as much because there's just no way I could buy that stuff. But you know, I could buy stuff from B&M, like it's, you know, I love watching. I do honestly, I think she's amazing. Her and Benji, her boyfriend, are so lovely together, and yeah, I just really enjoy their channel. And then the final YouTuber that I want to talk about is Ailey from the channel Maisie Meow, and I love her channel. Again, this is a mummy vlogger. I absolutely love her. She has a little boy called Oliver who's 2, and she just had a little baby in January, and I'm so in love with her channel. And honestly, she talks all about kind of like the birth and the C-section and stuff that she had, and just generally I absolutely love her channel. And also she does baby name videos, which we all know are like my favourite thing, and some of the names that she picked were beautiful and just really inspired me. So yeah, another channel that I really adore, and I think that you should check out if you enjoy mummy vloggers as well. So there you are, guys, that is my favourites from the month of January. I'm loving BookTube and YouTube in general at the minute, so finding out kind of like your favourites would be great. So let me know what your favourites of the month are and who you've been loving, because I'd love to check out some new people, and maybe they'll be on my favourites next month. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. I now upload every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5 PM, so come back next time for another video. Bye guys!